Hi there, I'm Ryan Charles from Nitty Gritty Studios, and welcome to the FCPX Marks the Spot Basic Training course. If you've come this far, I suspect you know what you're getting into, so let's dive right in. Now, all in all, there are approximately 4 hours of training in the basic training course, but feel free to skip around if you're looking for something specific. Now, while we have supplied you with some sample media to download, this course is not meant to be an artistic class on how to edit, but rather an in-depth look into a very sophisticated tool in post-production, as well as a broad workflow guide, a crash course in the steps and process of post-production, if you will. Now, if you haven't already, go ahead and download that sample media that we'll be using during the course. It's relatively small, so if you don't have an external hard drive, it should fit nicely on your computer. Now, for those of you wondering about external hard drives, editing equipment, and the like, you can head over to the additional resources section on FCPXmarksthespot.com. Take a look at my setup, additional recommendations that I have for everything from hard drives to monitors, computer mice, speakers, etc. Also, while there is an incredible slew of third-party apps and plugins that can assist you in your FCPX workflow, which I will mention throughout sporadically, and you can check that out on the website as well. For the sake of the course, we're going to use FCPX for absolutely everything here, rather than rely on any outside assistance. Okay, so on to the learning. For those of you who have cut on Avid, Premiere, Resolve, or anything else, some of this may seem a little weird at first, but trust me, you will thank me in the end, or you will end up hating me even more. For those of you new to NLEs, non-linear editors, and especially anyone familiar with iMovie, you may actually catch on a little quicker, since there won't be any of these bad habits to break you from. So, with that in mind, let's dive in from scratch. All right, Section 1, Introduction, Lesson 1, Getting Started. Now, we're not going to go through setting up your entire computer and installing the actual software, but before we actually open up Final Cut, let's take a look at our hard drive containing the media that we're going to be using during our lessons. I put mine here on my desktop. You might have it on an external drive. So going inside, you'll see we have a number of folders here. We have an additional audio folder with some music and some sound effects. We have the camera archives folder with a camera archive here. We have our camera masters, which are all of our main media clips that we'll be using. Our external audio that will be syncing to those video clips. And then we have libraries here, which we're just going to ignore this for right now, but we're going to be coming back to it later. So, if we go inside our camera masters, you'll see there's a whole slew of files, none of which are named according to their scene or take, but have random numbers. This is true for pretty much every camera out there. Now, clicking on our first one up here, we can scroll through and see, well, I don't know what scene this is, but I see here that this actor's holding a slate. So this is obviously a second camera angle from this scene. So if we jump down here a couple slates, and we see it's the same actor, same scene, and it is being slated, and it looks like this is scene 2, take 1. So it's safe to say that this scene with these two guys on the couch is scene 2. So what I'll do is, I'll find my first clip on the top, scene 2, and I'll scroll down until I find the next shot that isn't scene 2. Well, there we go, scene 1 right there, but let's see, is there anything above it? This looks like the same. How about here? This looks like the last clip that is scene 2. So if you simply lasso all these clips up on top here, right click it, hit tags, and now type in scene 2. Now you could type in any metadata that you wanted to there, and that will automatically be the name of the keyword collection later on. So now that we've gotten down through scene 2, we can see that the next clip right here starts scene number 1. So keeping our space here, 4217, click on down here until we find this, obviously a separate scene. Above that, this looks like it's the last clip from scene 2, and it looks like we have a slate right here, scene 1 rather. And that is true. So now I'll lasso everything from here to here, right click, tags, scene 1. And because I know that we only shot 3 scenes, the rest of these clips are all going to be scene 3, which we can see right here on this slate. Now, if you don't have slates, you may have some paperwork from your script supervisor on set, which will tell you which clips are in which scene. But if you shot it yourself and there aren't a lot of scenes, you might be able to just figure out from looking at it. All right, so now that we have our clips organized here, let's hop back into our audio and do the same. This is a lot easier because generally audio is going to be labeled by the scene and the take number. And so we can lasso all of our scene ones, and you can see scenes 2, 3, these scene options are pre-saved now here as tags, making this a lot easier. Lasso all of scene 2, back to tags, scene 2, and lasso all of scene 3 and scene 3. So there you have it. We have our camera media and our audio tagged as their scene numbers at the Finder level, and once we bring this into Final Cut later, you'll see how much easier it makes our job. Now there are great apps like ShotNotes X and the Movie Slate app that you can download from the Apple Store for your iPad, your iPhone, that can help you manage your media's metadata from set to post. But we're going to do everything inside Final Cut Pro, manually, for the sake of this training, just in case you don't have any of these third-party apps. So now that our media is organized and labeled, at least by scene at the Finder level, let's go ahead and open up Final Cut Pro X.